Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of now I'm on this kick. So I brought up this. It was a 10-year study put out by the National Law Center, and the 10-year study was on the criminalization of homelessness. So I brought that up this morning, briefly went over it, and it's true. And so all this is true. And so when I ran a channel for 7 years, that's all I talked about. And I averaged 2 or 3 videos a week for 7 years. But you see, no one listens. Which is why I bring up these points like the thing you need to know about the truth is there's what people want to hear, there's what people want to believe, there's everything else, then there's the truth, you know. And you might say, well, I can't believe you're saying this. The truth means responsibility. And I would say, yeah, that's why everybody hates it. Or the other gem where it's like, where the guy's like, oh, we'll just hack into the satellites and then we can broadcast the truth so the people will know the truth. And the dude starts laughing and he's like, truth? I don't know if you've noticed, but the truth hasn't been very popular. But see, these platforms won't tell you that the truth isn't popular. The platforms are telling you that everybody's just like got a massive boner for the truth. That's why TruthStream Media has 100,000 subscribers. Why else would TruthStream Media have 100,000 subscribers if everybody wasn't just, you know, fucking just like jonesing and lusting for truth? They are, after all, TruthStream Media, right? So, and anyways, so I covered this, you know, because, I mean, wouldn't you agree? Damn it, now my cameraman's giving me shit like always. Wouldn't you agree that in order to protect our freedoms, that we have to defend the freedoms of other people? Doesn't that make sense? But see, it doesn't matter if something makes sense anymore. You know, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about things that make sense or the truth or anything. All anybody cares about is themselves. For example, today's Thanksgiving, right? Isn't that what they say? Today's Thanksgiving? Well, what is everybody going to be doing for Thanksgiving? Are they going to be out, you know, seeking out people who are more in need? No, of course not. Nobody gives a shit about giving anything. All anybody cares about is receiving. You know, nobody, you seriously think people care about giving? Thanksgiving? I mean, again, man, you want to talk about white-pilled fucking hopium fucking idiocy. You think that the people out in the world, that people at large are all jazzed up and got a massive boner about giving to other people who are in need. I know I'm over here ruining your good times, huh? Your good Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Anyways, so like Like that BitChute comment where he's like, well, our government pays for food stamps and all this. Dude, I spent 7 years dealing with these. No, more than that. 7 years was just doing my channel. As I said before, I've been doing this for fucking 17 years. So I've seen that same, that is pure NPC, non-player, what is NPC? Non-player, whatever. Like, that is the most brain dead, like everybody says that. That's like an automaton response. It's always the same response. They always say the same thing. And then I can go for years, like I did with my channel, 7 years. Do you think that any of this stuff that I'm saying ever gets any traction at all? None whatsoever. None whatsoever. See, okay, let's go back to the idea of the pods. The pods, okay? The pods and the bug sandwiches. Well, that executive summary that says, imagine a world where it is illegal to sit down, where you have no place to store your belongings or to sleep. Well, that would be Klaus Schwab's world. That would be the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab's world, where you're all living in pods and eating bug sandwiches. That's the world it's asking you to imagine. And what it's telling you is guess what? That world is here already. People are saying, oh, it's coming, it's coming. They're always saying that. Oh, it's coming. Well, this executive summary of this report, on this 10-year study that's put out by the National Law Center, is telling you that it's already here. And you're like, no, I don't believe it. You're like Neo in that scene when Morpheus takes the battery and says, they want to turn you into a battery. And then Neo says, no, get me out of here. I don't believe it. I don't want, get away from me. See, when I tell you about this, about the homeless, that's what you do. No, that's not true. Fuck you. Get away. Or that's the average person's response. And I have been doing this for 17 years and I see it all the time. No, that's not true. Get away from me, you communist. And if you think that this is popular with the liberal leftists, to talk to them about the criminalization of homelessness, they respond exactly the same. No, fuck you, get away. It's always the same, no matter who. It's always the same. He's gonna pop. He's gonna pop. Every fucking time. Every time, man. And they do. They're shit in the bed all day, every day. This is why they like to talk about the Jays and Israel and Netanyahu and Ukraine and Russia and Bill Gates way over. Where's Bill Gates today? Oh, way over there somewhere. I don't know how many thousands of miles Bill Gates is over there. Over there somewhere he is. Bill Gates, Trump. Everybody wants to always talk about, because they don't want to look at what's going on right around them. And what that executive summary is telling everyone is, the future is now, motherfucker. The pods are here, you dumb motherfuckers. They're already here. And everybody's looking at, well, I know Bill Gates is over there and several thousand miles over there somewhere. And yeah, I mean, I'm just a conspiracy theorist. This is all just conspiracy. Yeah. None of what I'm saying. No. And like, even though I have all this experience, 10 years living on the street, 10 years working in the homeless service provider field, plus 7 years running a channel, including all the training, research, field, the field experience, everything. Even though I've got all this experience and everything, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And that guy that's like, fuck you, the government gives out food stamps and everything, and they make $15 to $100 an hour. That guy's the expert, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I did this. I ran a channel talking about this for 7 years, and it was always the same. Always the same. Get away from me. I don't believe you. I don't want to. Get me out of here. Just shit in the bed. Because they want to keep looking at Bill Gates is several thousand miles over there. We need to keep talking about Bill Gates. Forget about what's going on in your in your densely populated cities. Yeah, just forget all about that, man. Don't even pay any attention to that, because they told you it's the Jays over there in Israel, and those dead baby body parts are flying everywhere over there and everything, right? Way over there, somewhere over there. I know it's several thousand miles over that way somewhere. Yeah. Anyways, and so after a while, it's like, so when I started this channel, I decided, well, why don't I just focus on this little story? But this little story is, okay, in the executive summary where it says in the executive summary it says, this scenario, to most people, this scenario seems unrealistic to the point of being ludicrous. Well, if you look at the story I'm trying to storyboard, it involves a witch cult, the Todd Mahdi death witch cult, Illuminati cult, involving the police department in this town, the city and local officials, and murder, a death cult where they're killing people. This is a scenario that seems unrealistic to the point of being ludicrous. So, who's going to believe me? But see, before my channel for 7 years, I was talking about imagine a world where it is illegal to sit down, illegal to stand still. It's illegal to fall asleep. Would you be able to survive in this world? Well, to most people, this scenario seems unrealistic to the point of being ludicrous. But for homeless people across America, it's an ordinary part of everyday life. Oh, that's ludicrous. That's just ludicrous. How dare you? The government pays for their food stamps and their cell phones and their fuck you. It's so, yeah, I mean, reality, man. Welcome to the desert of the real, motherfucker. And again, I did that for 7 years, trying to open people's eyes, and all I got was that same response. Fuck you! Fuck you! The government pays for all their food stamps. They pay for their cell phones. They make $100 an hour, spare change in. Fuck you! That's all you get. Okay. And like I said, I've been warning for close to 17 years now that the way that they treat the homeless is they're going to start doing it to all of you people. And they all said, fuck you. They don't treat that way the homeless. The homeless get the best treatment of everybody in the whole wide world. Then what happens in 2019? Boom, lockdowns and all that. And then they're still the same. Fuck you, my constitutional rights. How dare you, my constitutional. That's why I was saying in my last video, these people, they don't understand anything but lockdowns and mandated muzzles and forced injections. That's all they understand. Because all they know is, fuck you. Where's mine? Where's my 40 acres? Where's my mule? Fuck you. You give everything to everyone else. Those homeless people, they get free food, they get free cell phones, they get free everything. They get $100 an hour. Fuck you. And so you see, when somebody's that just totally It's like mad cow disease. they're like mad cow disease. And the only thing that they'll understand is lockdowns and mandated muzzles and mandated forced injections. That's all they'll understand. So I mean, eat, drink, and be merry. I'm not trying to shit on anyone's parade, man. Enjoy it while you can, because but not to be shit on your parade or nothing. But if you really start looking at reality for what it is, instead of this dream world that everybody wants to keep going on as though it's real, if you look at reality for what it is, take one good look at the homelessness in this country. You're fucked. This country is fucked. Beyond a miracle. See, all these people, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They don't want to fight to defend other people's freedoms, but they want to protect their own freedoms. As much as I don't like Matt Christensen, he was right when he said, in order to protect our freedoms, we have to defend the freedoms of others. So if your neighbor is getting unconstitutionally policed, well, you want to stand up against that. Not out of virtue, but to protect your own freedoms. See? In order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. So if it's true that the homeless are being unconstitutionally policed, well, you should care about that if you want to protect your freedoms. If you don't care whether you have freedom or not, then just don't do anything about any of it. Just keep letting it go on and don't care. And remember, lockdowns and mandated muzzles and forced injections are coming. If you don't care about your freedom, then if you don't care about your freedom, then lockdowns and mandated muzzles and forced injections that's what you have in your future if you don't care about your freedom. But in order to protect your freedom, you need to defend the freedoms of others. So if there's people in your cities and states and country that are being having their freedoms unlawfully taken from them, well, then you need to care about that. You actually need to take responsibility and do something about it. If you value your freedom. If you don't value your freedom, well, the only thing is, how could you value your freedom if you've never experienced going without freedom? In this homeless population, here you have, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of homeless people that have experienced having their freedoms unlawfully taken from them. Now, maybe you haven't. And so therefore, well, why would you care about freedom if you've never experienced what it's like to go without? You wouldn't really care. So if you don't care about your freedom, well, you're not going to defend the freedoms of others. You're just going to continue enjoying your own freedom, despite what might be going on around you or not or otherwise. It doesn't matter, because as long as you have your freedom, everything's fine. But yeah, I mean, if you care about your freedom, you might want to be aware of what's going on. What's going on with all these hundreds of thousands of displaced U.S. citizens that are just being ignored and demonized? Whenever the mainstream media does report on them, it's always talking about how they're all just these bad people. They're criminals and they're drug addicts and criminals and criminal vagrants. That's all they ever have to say. They're never telling you, like, hey, if you value your freedom, you may want to defend the freedoms of people that are, But anyways, I've already been doing this for 7 years on the channel, and everybody's brain dead. The internet is dead. The internet is fucking dead. Nobody fucking pays attention to anything. Nobody cares about anything or anyone but themselves. which makes, lockdowns and mandated muzzles and forced injections makes sense. If you got a bunch of people that just don't give a fuck about anything or anyone but themselves, well, then that's the only thing they'll ever understand is lockdowns and muzzles and forced injections. That's all they'll ever understand. So, I mean, what do you expect the outcome to be? If the society you live doesn't care about the freedoms of their neighbors or anyone, they don't care about anyone but themselves. What do you think a society like that is going to happen? What's the end result of if a society of people only care about themselves and don't care about anyone else, only themselves? Well, what do you think is going to happen to that society? This is like basic math. This is like 1 + 1 = 2. It's totally brain dead, like easy. It's like duh. And this is how fucking you want to talk about idiocracy, bro? Idiocracy? 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah. If you value your freedom, the way that you protect your freedom is by defending the freedoms of others. And if that report on the criminalization of homelessness is correct, which based off of my over 2 decades experience, I would say is 100% correct. If that's the case, then basically you're fucked. Basically you are fucked. All that this society has in its future is lockdowns and mandated muzzles and forced injections. So yeah, be grateful for what you have right now, because may not be too long, right?